Hello there. What's going on, guys? It's been a little minute, like 3 years or something like that. Shut this up. Anyway, I'm filming the next video. Clearly, um, right now I'm kind of just. Why can't I find this? Am I stupid? Oh, there you go. No, I guess I'm stupid. Uh, I'm filming the next video. It's gonna be Order 66, High Pandemonium. Um, well, not the next video, but I've been filming a ton of videos before I start editing them, so I can kind of edit them together. Uh, but this video is just gonna be an Order 66 short. It's not gonna be anything crazy. Um, yeah, man. Probably gonna be editing. Uh, Probably gonna be editing more than I film right now because my camera is pretty dead, and it takes a little more effort to film. Uh, so doing that while I'm streaming is a little more difficult. Plus, I want to find a way to get this here so that I can, I don't have to have my back towards the camera when I'm filming. So, I can kind of just have you guys here and have my work right in front of me. You know what I mean? The studio is not even close to being done. It's I have a lot of the stuff to put up. Now I got to get the stuff to put the stuff up. You know what I mean? Like I just bought screws. I've been using tacks to put some of this stuff up. So, um, I'm working on it. I'm more worried about making videos, getting a couple of videos out. Um, you know, than making the entire studio feel like a studio. That's more for me. Um, yeah. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Um, this is one of the only places I answer stop motion questions. So that and my membership. So you can either do one of the memberships, the 99-cent one or whatever. I'll answer whatever questions you guys have. Or you could ask questions here on the very rare occasions when 3 years in between each other I decide I want to do a stream. Uh, if you are new here, make sure you hit the like button. Uh, yeah, and that just pushes out my videos toward more people. I say it all the time, but I don't know why YouTubers don't just kind of say what certain things do. Make sure you like and subscribe. It's all liking does is push it out to other people as well. It's kind of like sharing it, except you're not sending it exactly to a person. Anyway, if you guys have questions, ask. I got you. Um, I saw uh, the Avengers Doomsday trailer with. I saw the Avengers Doomsday trailer earlier today. What do you guys think of it? Personally, I'm interested. I'm very interested. Uh, if I don't know how they're gonna do it because there's so many different universes trying to collide to one, trying to become the MCU, trying to all come together, and they have to get it right because you only got one shot at this. So I hope they get it right. I think they will. Um, I think it's kind of gonna be like Endgame where you have to take your time. You know, some stuff is gonna feel slow, but this is also coming off of a universe that's been making how many movies? Like at 27, 28 movies at this point, and they gotta collide all of that together. Like some stuff is gonna feel kind of slow. Like uh Endgame, certain moments felt slow, but at the same time, you're trying to make a movie that combines what was it, 23 movies at the time? You're trying to combine all of that together and make it all make sense, you know? So, I give a lot of leeway to Avengers Endgame. I give a lot of leeway to Doomsday. RDJ sounds really good as Doomsday. I was expecting him just to sound like Tony Stark again. Uh, that's what I was expecting, but he don't. If you told me that wasn't him, I'd believe you. So he sounded great. What's up? What was it? Terrible. This Mard Hen. Sounded out. Soa. Hi, I'm a big fan. I appreciate you, brother. I'm right now I'm talking about the Avengers Endgame, not an Endgame, Avengers Doomsday trailer that came out earlier. What do you think of it? Like I said, I give it a lot of leeway because, again, at this point, like Avengers, the first Avengers movie was trying to put what 5 movies together. That was a big deal. It was still a big deal back in 2012, but you got 20-something movies. You have characters dying. You have, different universes that jumped into our universe, and now they jumped out like in the multiverse. Like it's everything trying to come together. And the bigger and bigger the universe gets, the more leeway I give it because you have Loki, but it's not really Loki. You have Deadpool, who was in his own universe. He saved that universe, but now the X-Men are coming to the MCU. It's what universe was Deadpool even in? So I give it a lot of leeway because it's just what they're trying to do just goes beyond cinema. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous to see. I would like to see Iron Man fighting Darth Vader on a crossover. Okay, Iron Man versus Darth Vader. Who do you think would win? Iron Man's just a fancy stormtrooper. So, personally, I don't think Iron Man would really stand much of a chance. I think Iron Man versus Thor is probably a better fight. They both have unstoppable weapons. They both have magic, but not really magic. They both date Natalie Portman. I mean, who wouldn't go crazy over Natalie Portman? Come on. You're fighting for Natalie Portman. You're going to fight your absolute hardest. And if they're both fighting their absolute hardest, I don't know. If Thor hits Vader with a lightning, I don't know if Vader gets up because that's literally his one weakness. But at the same time, Vader could just snap his neck. So who knows? I think it's sad that Kylo is so much wasted potential. Wasted potential is my specialty. I absolutely love working and dealing with wasted potential of different things. Like I made that one Third Sister video. I literally only made that because I saw so much potential in the Third Sister. She could have been really cool if she had her own show and didn't interrupt Darth Vader and Obi-Wan's show. It would have been completely different. People would have taken it way different, and it would have been better. like that's not one of my best performing videos, but it's one that I really like doing because I saw the potential in the trailers. I saw the potential with the actress, you know. So I get what you're saying. Kylo is the same way. I haven't started with that. After my Vader series, I kind of want to make my own type of sequel trilogy, and have that be one of the next big series. But I get what you mean. Kylo was a huge wasted potential. Nap stop motion. What's up, brother? It's been a little minute, man. It's good to see you. King Kairu, what's up? Can you please subscribe to me? Comment on the video when the stream's done, and I'll check out your channel. I want to start doing reactions to like other people's stop motions, especially Star Wars stop motions, like especially figure stop motions, because it's kind of a lost art at this point. It's not known all that much. So any kind of clout I can give the community, I'd love to give. Yeah. So, like I said, comment. I'll check out your channel after the video. Doomsday is pure nostalgia, but I ain't complaining. What's crazy is that the MCU is nostalgia at this point. Think about this. The MCU started in 2008. That's going on that what is that? 18 years ago? 18 years ago. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Dude, that's almost 18 years ago. That's crazy. But what the MCU has been able to do with everything that it's done, it is ridiculous, dude. It is absolutely insane. And I give them a lot of leeway, like I did with Endgame, trying to bring all of this together, start new stuff, and continue the story in a somewhat natural way. They've already had a few flops, but I don't think they're going to have a flop with this. I don't think that they'll be able to do that. You know. Let's see. Have you hear about the Metroid? No, I have no idea. No idea what a Metroid is. Vader stomps Iron Man. Yeah, like I said, he's a fancy stormtrooper. He crushed him like a tin can. So I don't think Vader would have much trouble. What's your favorite Marvel movie behind a Spider-Man 2? Marvel movie, probably Civil War. That's probably my favorite Marvel movie. Infinity War is up there, but I don't know. It's kind of soon, but at the same time, Civil War has a hint of nostalgia. They introduced Spider-Man. They introduced Black Panther. It was kind of the ending of the Hydra arc in the Marvel universe, which is again what I grew up with because I was really young during like the first Avengers movie came out in 2012. I was 10 or something like that. Probably Civil War would have to take the cake on that one. Infinity War is up there, but after after Civil War, first Avengers probably has to take the cake after that. Because, I mean, come on. I put that movie on like I put on Revenge of the Sith. Like, I could literally say every single word to the first Avengers movie. Which, if a movie can make me do that, I, one, probably grew up with it, and two, it was really, really good. You guys have any stop motion questions, nerd questions? Just let me know. Also, hit the like button if you're in the stream. Who's your favorite Avenger? You just asking me impossible questions. It depends on who you count. If you're talking about the original, um, probably Iron Man. I know that's a basic answer. And by original, I mean Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. That's what I mean by original. Out of them, probably Iron Man, but at the same time, okay, think about this. When you say Avengers, think about the scene right before Captain America says Avengers assemble in Endgame. All of them are technically Avengers. So, asking me to pick who my favorite character is like asking me to pick who my favorite Marvel character altogether is, which is impossible. But out of the original, what is it, 6? Out of the first couple original characters, probably Iron Man. Have you guys been keeping up with the Star Wars Theory Vader video or Vader fan film that's coming out? I've been keeping up with it. Isn't it? What is it? July 25th? July 25th, right when the Vader fan film comes out. I'm looking forward to it, dude. It was almost, what is that, 8 years ago? It came out in 2018, right? Yeah, that's 8 years ago, right? Since the first one, and compared to some of the stuff he's put out, the first one doesn't. The first one looks bad compared to just the little clips he's put out nowadays. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to the Vader fan film from Theory. I think he gets a lot of flack, unjustifiably, but I mean he talks like a fan, so you know. I don't know. It's whatever. I think that's the main issue. Is he just talks like any kind of fan. And when you have like what, 4 million subscribers or whatever, people don't like that. I've been seeing that some of my older videos, for whatever reason, has been having this AI voice over it. I hate that, dude. I've been getting comments on older videos, and I would look at it and be like, "Oh, someone's actually still watching my old videos? What?" And then the comment will be, "Hey, man, what's with these old AI voices?" And I'm like, "What?" And then I gotta look at it and realize they got AI over the voices, dude. Finding voice actors or doing the voices yourself, that is one of the hardest things you do. It's one of the hardest things to do with these videos, and YouTube is putting AI over my own videos. And I gotta go in and take it down. Why is that happening? You know, that's really frustrating. But I've kind of figured out how to do it, how to fix it, so I'm not super worried about it. It's just annoying that I have to get a comment or go through every single. How many videos have I posted? Like, let's see, 300 videos or something like that. I got to go through all 300 of my videos to see and make sure they don't have a freaking AI voice over it. It's kind of ridiculous. Like that. Come on, man. I put too much effort in to have to go back and re-edit the same videos I already did just to take off something you put on for absolutely no reason other than you want to push your AI crap. Like, I'm good on that. I'm good. Who are you talking about, Ben? Hi, by the way. But who are you talking about? I live alone, so you see somebody back there, you gotta let me know. What's up, Decade? OICT. What? What are you talking about? You talking about that stuff? That's the next video I'm filming. I'm probably not gonna be able to film until you have a good eye, bro. How did you see that this is the Embarin figure from way back there? That's crazy. Yeah. He's relatively new. Bought him the other day. But yeah, he's gonna be a different character that I'm gonna incorporate in the videos. I have a few of the Bane clones, but I want to have a few here and there. But this is gonna be not an important video, but it's gonna be kind of important. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to describe it. To the Order 66 saga that I'm doing. Not that this is going to be an Order 66 video, but in that whole area, yeah. Tell me every horror character you could be in a fight. All of them. What horror character could beat a 400-pound buffalo raging and tumbling toward you? All right. Every single one. Pennywise, Freddy Fazbear, all of them. Low def. Come on. Did anybody see my old Batman video from like, I don't know how old that is. I don't know, 4 years? Let me see. When are we getting that Anakin versus Obi-Wan fight? Brother, you got that in Revenge of the Sith. Dude, if I could I would love to recreate that fight and make it better. I want to. But I like doing stuff kind of in between the movies that can feel canon. So I'd make Ahsoka videos that happen right after episode 3 because we don't know what happens to her other than she goes and lives on a farm for 5 minutes. But that's the kind of stuff I like to do. I like making videos of Darth Vader in between episode 3 and 4. You know, stuff that when you watch it, you can look at it and it can feel canon. Um, there's nothing that says it's not canon. Like, think about the videos I make. Most of them can fit into the canon, and it would fit well. Which is why I don't really do recreations that often. But that's the best fight scene in freaking Star Wars history. So I would love to recreate it if I could. I need a better Anakin figure for that, though, to be honest. I gotta get the new one, but that's like a Walmart exclusive, dude. I gotta find out a way to get my hands on that. It's not as easy as just ordering it on Amazon or running into it on the store. But I'll figure out a way. Cap, you ain't beating Jason. He tanks bullets, explosions, has extreme super strength, and can lift 10 tons. You're getting slimed. Listen here, buddy. Listen here. Look here, pal. You're walking on thin ice. Okay? Jason got nothing. You said Jason, right? Yeah, Jason. Jason got nothing on me. Alright? Have you ever felt the full force of a rhino charging at you and making contact like that? You ever felt that? That's what my pinky feel like. All right? Jason, are you serious? Are you serious? Pennywise, are you serious? Really? Come on. That's my pinky. All right? Foolishness, man. I don't know what y'all be talking about. $378 videos. That's how many I have. Oh, I was trying to see where that Batman video was. I'm not talking about the newer one that I made around the time where the new Batman movie was coming out. I'm talking about the old one, dude. I might have privated that. Made it members only. No, I didn't. 5 years ago. That's crazy. Yeah. Did you guys watch those old DC videos? I know they got some views, but I like making videos for more of my core audience. If a bigger audience finds it, that's cool. That's great. But I don't know. I like making stuff where I recognize a lot of the commenters, you know? So I know, yeah, see, like some of the Marvel videos, DC videos, those are cool to make, but I really prefer my core audience be satisfied and then the bigger audience find it, you know? You're getting absolutely dropped. He can outrun you and survive. And he survived also canonically. He could absolutely survive a rhino full speed. Brother, I said that was my pinky. I said a rhino full speed was my pinky. Pinky! This is my pinky, bro. Alright? One finger. The worst one. Alright? That's first of all. Second of all, alright, where's your comment? You're getting dropped canonically, you can outrun. You don't know how fast I run. You don't know how fast I... Bro, I beat the Flash in a race. I don't need to prove anything. Alright? But you're the one asking. I made Quicksilver look foolish in what's it called? The chair game where you ring around the rosy and then the music stuff. Musical chairs. That's what it's called. I made Quicksilver look like a dummy. All right? Oh, canonically he's immortal. Great. Into the sun. What's he gonna do? Anyway. Would you ever do any stop motions with Black Series figures? I would. It would probably have to be with figures that I couldn't get my hands on in the 375-inch scale. But I'm gonna start doing my Marvel videos on with 6-inch figures, because they literally don't make articulated figures anymore for Marvel. So, or really even DC. So the ones I found is hard to get my hands on, and they're not making new ones. So at this point, I'm gonna bite the bullet, spend the extra $10 on each figure, because I do want to make a Marvel Universe, a Marvel series. It's just more difficult because my whole life I've been collecting 375-inch, but they stopped making it. So this guy. Calling BS on Solion, whatever that is, ring. Yeah, he's canonically more immortal. He's coming because plot armor. And by the way, you could have just said push him into a pool. He has hydrophobia and he can't swim. Or I could push him to a pool. All right, into the sun, into a pool. Doesn't matter. Even if he could swim, I could swim. So he tries to run away by jumping in the ocean and swimming away. I swim after him with the speed of 1,000 sharks. Easy. Like I said, low diff. Low diff. Anyway. Yeah. Damn, it's only been 30 minutes? I feel like I've been streaming for about 45 minutes, man. Yeah. What else y'all got? How's your summer? Dude, it was good. It was busy. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was very busy. But you know, I'm here now. So I'm glad where I'm at. I'm trying to get a little more time on my hands, operate my time better. But it's not bad. You know, I'm working on my studio right now. I gotta working on my studio and actually doing what I have my studio for more often. But I want to get as comfortable as I was before, and just able to just make videos and not have to think about it. Only have to think about the content. Only have to think about the videos. You know, interact with my community more. It's been a minute. You know, I was joking earlier about not doing a live stream for 3 years. That technically is when the last time I did a live stream, but you know, I respond to every comment, hate or not. I respond to every comment. I talk to people on Instagram. I do that because I really like my community, you know? So I want to get back into it, man. You know, it's been a minute since I've really been able to stop, focus, and really operate with it. You know, the last really big video I did was what? Front Lines. Yeah. Front Lines, and that was almost a year ago. That was the last really big video, and that was only 8 minutes. You know, that wasn't a huge video, but that was the last video I did. It was almost a year ago. So I want to get back and really work on it. Honestly, you could beat Chucky. We'll have no diff. I could too. I refuse to believe he is as strong as an adult. I'm kicking him into the stratosphere. Man, I'm not gonna lie. Chucky, like, bruh, just kick him into a bucket and put a top on it. You know, what is he gonna squirm around? Dump him into a pool. Like, think about it. You know, put him in a fish tank with a couple sinkers on it. You ever go fishing and you got the little sinkers that are like barely heavy at all, but it could make -2 pounds drop to the bottom of the sea. Like, put 2 of them on his ankles and put him in a fish tank. He gonna be slamming. He's a toy, so is he gonna drown? Probably not. But he'd be entertaining watching him. Ah! Mark Hamill's voice screaming at you. You know what better alarm clock is that? Mark Hamill's voice saying, "Hey, you better let me out of here!" Come on. What's your favorite figure? Bro, I don't know. I've had my favorite figure for a long time was Boba Fett. Was that Boba Fett figure, which low key is partially why I made so many Boba Fett videos. Because I just really like that figure. It's really fun to animate with. Oh shoot! Come on now. There we go. He's really fun to animate with. I'm probably gonna still have to say that Boba Fett figure. Maybe the Darth Vader figure that I got. Maybe one of the newer Vader figures. Maybe one of the newer Vader figures. But Boba Fett is probably still like that perfect figure. I could make a video with him now. Nonsense video. One that I didn't really want to make, but he's so fun to animate with. I don't get tired of it. Oh, yo, what's the timeline on these new stop motions? Well, technically, I have, technically, I have 3 videos filmed. One of them needs voices. One of them needs voices. One of them needs voices and sound effects. And the other one just needs one voice. Because one of them, spoiler alert, is a Darth Maul video. So I'm going to do most of the voicing for that. Because Maul's the one doing most of the talking. But, no, it's cool. It's good. Probably the first one that's going to come out is the Maul one. So you could probably expect that before the end of the month. Yeah, because that one's not going to be huge. It's a short. It's a short. Another one is probably going to take a little longer because I'm going to need voice actors for that. But it's not going to be crazy. Once I start uploading for real again, it's going to be probably monthly at the absolute latest. I'd like to get it out sooner than that. You're going to do more Order 66 Nightfall Anakin vids. Those are peak. Appreciate that. Would you guys want to see more of that? I mean, I liked doing them. I kind of felt like my community got kind of tired of them. Low-key, but I love doing those Order 66 videos. It's just Anakin going ham for no reason. And that was one of the things that I always wanted to see was Anakin in his prime fighting Jedi he didn't care about. A lot of the time, you got Anakin fighting Luke, or Darth Vader fighting Luke. You got Anakin fighting Obi-Wan, or whatever, or Anakin fighting these no-name nonsense separatists where he's just slaughtering everybody. But we don't really get to see Anakin fight a Jedi or just some sort of opponent that'll put up a fight, but as prime Anakin, other than Obi-Wan. So I really love seeing that on a Anakin level. It was really cool just making kind of a John Wick style. This guy's just going absolutely ham for whatever reason. I'd love to make more if my community would like it. I make those John Wick. This character goes really cool, goes crazy, and just kills a bunch of characters or goes crazy. Like I've made those a few different times. I made that with Boba. I've done that with Anakin, obviously in the Order 66 videos. Yeah, I've done those a few times, but Anakin's kind of my favorite to do it with, low-key. So, if you guys would want to see that, just let me know. That sounds great. Really love the videos. Really appreciate you, bro. I'm dumbfounded that I haven't uploaded in almost a year as far as like real meat of the story that I'm telling, especially as far as the Clone Wars videos. And people are still subscribing, dude. We still hit another 1,000 subscribers this year, from 8 to 9, and I hadn't uploaded much, so there wasn't much of a reason other than you guys just coming back and watching the same videos. Yeah, so yeah. You should do Jango Fett becoming a true Mando. Is there that's in the comics, right? If it's in the comics, comment at the end of the stream, comment the comic it's from so I can get it right. I like doing those. I really like doing those comic book coming to life type of things, and I want to get it right. So I have a vague idea of how it happens, but like Juno cast video with Boba, I want to get it as close as possible. Again, I want stuff to feel as canon as possible. You should do a video with a stormtrooper as MC. What's MC? Did I just fall for one of those streamer things? What's MC? MC these nuts. Is it one of those? Dang it. Jango Fett open seasons. Yeah, I want to get that Jango from Vintage Collection they just did. Main character. What's crazy is I just did that to myself. That's wild. Anyway, yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. That wouldn't be a bad idea at all. I've got like 3 different times on these streams. I've only done 3 streams, dude. Like, come on. What other suggestions you guys have? Because you guys have some good suggestions. Some of this stuff I already have written down. But it's good to be either reminded or find new stuff. What's a fig you don't own but would love to do a video on? Do a video with. Jango Fett. I don't have that Jango Fett from the Vintage Collection, the newer one. I think he's like $30. I just haven't bought him yet. That's all. I've been spending my money on stuff for the studio, etc., etc. But that's definitely one. That's definitely one. Oh, another one would be the old vintage collection General Grievous. I had one when I was a kid. It frustrates me. I had one when I was a kid. I tore them apart because I was a kid playing with my toys. Um, and I think I did one video with him, but he's very, very battle damaged and not in a on purpose way. In a this toy was played with by Sid kind of way. So I want to get that figure and actually take care of him. Again, the 3.75-inch General Grievous from the Vintage Collection. That is really what I've been looking for, dude. I've visited comic book shops. I've looked online. Even online, I found them, but for like $500, dude. Come on. Come on, bro. Like, that's crazy. Where are you based? I mean, where do I live? Man, it's the internet. I can't disclose that. You should get that new Anakin and Cody 2-pack on Order 66. Those would be crazy. Dude, I saw those. They're like $50. I'm still going to buy it. At some point, I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to be able to handle it. I'm not going to be able to help it. It just looks too good. I actually saw one in a comic book shop the other day. They weren't selling it. It was just for display. I was so mad, but dude, I gotta get my hands on that. The Anakin figure, what is it? Not a bomber trooper. I can't remember what the name of that trooper is, but I've been wanting it for sure. I don't even think they're not even ready for pre-order right yet, right? I think you might be able to pre-order, maybe. Like just region, I'm SoCal. What? Okay, what you talking about? It's going for 40 on Walmart right now. You talking about the Anakin one, right? The Anakin and clone trooper pack? Yeah, dude, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that. I don't know, nor do I really care how much it is. As long as it's not like $80, I'm gonna have to get that at some point. Matter of fact, let me look that up right now. Let's see. Maybe I could pre-order it. Of course, my computer would freeze when my computer's talking about McChickens. Come on. There we go. Anakin 2-pack. I wanted that Anakin pack from like the Anakin one where he's here it is. Yeah, the one from Clone Wars in episode 3 and then when he's Vader. That reminded me of the older packs, which I love. But dude, it's $70. And I already have the Anakin. I already have the Vader. I only really want the episode 3 Anakin. Like, it's not worth it, man. I know they should. Just pack them. They should pack them separately. And I'll buy the Anakin when I feel like it, when it comes out. But it's been a minute since they posted this. And I'm getting anxious. I'm getting annoyed here. Let's see. Oh, shoot. I forgot they have that Plo Koon. I want to get the Plo Koon and the Shock T for sure. Oh, and the Padme figure. I don't know why I really want that figure, but that Padme figure looks really good. You know what it is? I've never had a really good Padme figure. I think that's why. I had one from like a 4-pack years ago. But they never really made them all that great. And usually they were pregnant Padme from episode 3 or one of her goofy looking outfits. And I never really wanted one of those. I'm going to be real with you. Let's see. I don't see it. It's a Walmart exclusive. That's why. But I'm going to try anyway. And Commander Cody. Yeah, they don't have it. Not on Amazon. So yeah. By the way, if you guys see ads on my videos now for like the figures that's in the videos, that's the affiliate program thing. I just got approved for it. If you guys click the link from one of my videos and buy it using that link, so if you click the link and then buy that figure, some of that money from you buying that figure comes to me. So it helps the channel. Anything from the channel goes back into the channel. So yeah, if you guys start seeing that, that's where that's from. Would you rather be a Jedi or a Sith? The Sith always lose. Usually I'd say Sith, but the Jedi end up on top except for when they die in episode 3. So I'd rather be neither. I'd rather be Starkiller, where I can just be whatever I want, you know? But probably, if we're going by the codes, Sith. Because Jedi is just, oh, be a robot. That's the Jedi. So, yeah. Sith drip is hard. That's true. You get all the baddies with the Sith drip, not the Jedi drip. You look like Aang if he was old and boring. So Aang in Legend of Korra, that's what you'd look like if you're a Jedi. Yeah. Who's your least favorite Star Wars character aside from Prom Crow? It's a good question. The easy answer would be one of the characters from the Star Wars shows or movies that I don't count as Star Wars, like the sequels or Acolyte or something. That's the cheap answer. But I don't know. Probably. I don't know. That's a good question. Let me see. What's the character's name from that Clone Wars arc? The frog guy. That clone arc made me angry. Because I couldn't stand... I don't know why. I couldn't stand that guy. I couldn't stand that arc. I was just... Part of it probably was because I was young, and I really didn't care about all the droids that were all gonna end up dying at some point, and some frog guy we never heard of. I didn't care. That's probably my least favorite character would be that guy, but the fact that I can't remember his name means I didn't hate him that much. So I'm gonna have to be cheap and probably say Rose Tico. That was a very, it's a very shoehorned in character that nobody needed, nobody wanted, so much so that the movies didn't even need him or want him. Like after episode 8, when she was established, the very next episode she was pushed aside. Like it makes no sense. But that's more of a problem with the movies more than a problem with that actual character herself. The actress was fantastic. But they just did her character terrible, just like everybody else in the sequels. So. What did you guys think of Maul Shadow Lord? That, personally, I think that's probably the second or third best Star Wars show. Period. Mando's great. Season 3 holds it down very, very badly. Clone Wars is obviously number one. Bad Batch was good, but there was a lot of filler in between it that just kind of hurt it. Rebels was great, but Rebels was only great when it was riding the coattails of Clone Wars, so, you know, Maul was really... Andor, unpopular opinion, I didn't like it. Andor was lame. It was good. It was slow. It was an objectively great show, but objectively great show doesn't mean objectively great Star Wars. And when you have people saying the show's so good, it doesn't feel like Star Wars, that's not a good thing. Like, just be something else at that point. I always say this, and then people are like, you hate it. But I liked it. It was all right. But Andor wasn't. If you take out the Empire, if you take out seeing stormtroopers here and there, you could tell me it's Doctor Who, and I would believe you. You could tell me it was Star Trek, and I'd believe you. There's nothing uniquely Star Wars about Andor, which is what bugs me about it. There's barely any aliens. There's nothing familiar, and I don't mean nothing familiar as far as the characters. I don't want to see Darth Vader everywhere. I don't want to see Luke Skywalker everywhere. I don't want to see lightsabers everywhere. The problem I had was that when you look at a frame, any frame of Mandalorian, you know it's Star Wars. You pause a random frame of The Mandalorian, you know it's Star Wars. You pause a random frame of Episode 3, you know it's Star Wars. You pause a random frame of Rogue One, and you know it's Star Wars. You pause a random frame of Andor, you don't know what it is. It could be anything. And the fact that they didn't use the unique planets that Star Wars has also means it could literally be any universe. It could be... it could be Law and Order. Randomly. You pause a random scene in Andor. It could be Law and Order. You don't know. It's just... It doesn't say Star Wars in the front of it. You know? They don't have unique planets. They don't have aliens. They don't have the Star Wars feel. Even The Mandalorian in the first season had no lightsabers, no Jedi, no Sith, none of the things that say Star Wars so loudly like something like Episode 3 would have. It didn't have that kind of stuff, but it still said Star Wars because you're looking at aliens. You're looking at people in costumes. You're looking at planets that don't look like Earth. Andor had nothing but things you could find on Earth. That's my problem with it, is that it seemed like it was embarrassed to be Star Wars. And I'm not okay with that. If you're going to be embarrassed to be Star Wars, if you don't want to be Star Wars, if you don't like Star Wars, don't watch Star Wars. / don't put your universe, don't put your story in Star Wars. With all of that said, it was a great show. With all of that said, it was a great objective show. Andor was charming. Andor was good. The actors were good. The story was good. It was literally the atmosphere. It was the atmosphere and the characters. None of the main characters were aliens, dude. At least one character in every single piece of Star Wars content is an alien or a droid. No matter what. In Andor, all of them were human. Even stuff that made sense, like when they're in that prison being labored. I don't know how YouTube is with a certain S word, but being used for labor in the prison. In the Star Wars lore, aliens were treated like second-class citizens. So it would make sense why aliens would be in this prison being used for that type of labor. No aliens. All humans in the prison. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in the lore, it doesn't make sense for the universe, and it doesn't look good for the universe. Nothing in that arc of a story said Star Wars. They didn't even use stormtroopers as the guards. That's easy. That's easy Star Wars visuals of just seeing stormtroopers stand around. You couldn't do that? Come on, man. Come on. I don't know. I know I'm complaining a lot for a show that I keep saying that it was good. But it's just easy stuff that they missed, man. And that's probably the biggest tragedy of it. Is this easy stuff. It's easy to make it feel like Star Wars. Just put a stormtrooper here and there. Play the Imperial theme here and there. It's not that difficult. When fans can do what you can't, I should tell you you have a problem. Heck, the Mandalorian movie. The Mandalorian movie was good. It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't lore breaking or, you have to see this movie like any of the other Star Wars movies. You could skip that movie and it wouldn't do anything. But at the same time, if I'm watching all the Star Wars movies, probably going to watch that movie too. It was fun. It was cool. Grogu was cool. Grogu wasn't overly cuted. He wasn't thrown in everybody's faces to be super cute. It wasn't annoying or anything like that. It didn't break lore, acolyte. But it was cool. It was fun. The Mandalorian was cool. And it incorporated stuff from other stuff that we knew. Embo. Embo was a really cool character. Matter of fact, I'm probably about to pre-order him right now. But Embo was a fun character. That you knew, but at the same time, you didn't have to know if you didn't know him. Dave Filoni's really good at that. And honestly, going forward, I'm excited to see what he does because Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau together, when they're together, is really good at appealing to the original fans without forcing you to be an OG Clone Wars fan from 10 years ago. You don't know anything unless you watched that one Tales of the Jedi episode. They're good at appealing to those fans while still allowing new fans to come in and not be completely lost. I know some Star Wars fans that will say if you're not lost, you don't need to be. If you're not lost as a new fan, it means you need to go back and do your homework and do all this other stuff. I understand that, but at the same time, some people just want to jump into it. And I understand that, and it's cool. Now, some stuff you're just going to be lost. You don't know who Ezra is if you don't watch Rebels. So, the people who say, oh, that cartoon for kids, and then they want to watch the Ahsoka show, no, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Now, if you're going into a major movie, and you don't understand the basic story that people should be able to understand, that's kind of a problem. You know what I mean? More niche stuff should stay with more niche stuff. It should be extra credit that fans get extra stuff. Understand extra stuff in the movies and the shows and stuff like that. But I don't think it should be required. Sam Witwer said that you didn't need to see anything to be able to watch the Darth Maul show. Technically, that's true, but you miss a lot. You only see Darth Maul in episode 1, and then you see him here, and he's just here. You know, if you don't understand how he comes back, what happened, when it happened, why it happened, who did, what they did to him, you're not going to understand the Darth Maul show. But at the same time, you can come in, understand Darth Maul's alive. That's all you need to know. Darth Maul's alive, and this is when it's taking place. And really, you won't be that lost. You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. What do you think about Kylo Ren? I think he was a fantastic villain until he took his mask off. And not to say that he shouldn't have taken his mask off at all, but in the first movie, absolutely not. He was a very intimidating, scary villain until they boy band him. They made him look like a dude from a boy band, looking like he's about to sing, "Tonight will be the night that..." No. That's what they made him look like. Now, Kylo Ren was a very... a character who had a lot of potential, and they just screwed it up, like most of the characters. Finn was a character I was extremely excited for. One of the first major black characters in Star Wars. They advertised him as such, and then they did the bait and switch. You got people to buy the movie who interested and got people to buy the movie, and then you did the bait and switch, and just, like, they only put him in there to get certain people to be interested in the universe and in the movies, and it succeeded, and then they didn't continue with it. It'd have been like making Black Panther appear in Civil War and then saying he goes off to Wakanda and you never see him again. Or make him lose every time he's in a fight in Civil War. Make him uninteresting, but put him all over the advertising. That's not right. You know, Kylo Ren would have been a great character if he was treated right. Same thing with Rey. You know, I don't hate Rey. I think Rey is a tragedy. Not that she's a tragic character, because that implies they put effort into thinking about her story, but the fact that episode 9 was coming around and we're theorizing about who this character is and the creators don't know who the character is, that's ridiculous. You know, that's very disrespectful to the story George Lucas created. That you don't even think. You know, you just wanted to slap Star Wars on something to get people to go watch it, and it worked. But ultimately, the reason Star Wars is in the place that it is because of how the sequels were treated, and because that snowballed into all of the different things that has happened. Ultimately, Star Wars died. Star Wars was stabbed in the chest with Episode 8. Episode 8 is when it started. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And now we're here. Now we're in a place that could be worse. But we're in a place where Dave Filoni isn't perfect, by the way. But Dave Filoni is asked to fix everything. Dave Filoni made Clone Wars with George Lucas. He made Clone Wars with George Lucas. He made Mandalorian with Jon Favreau. And Dave Filoni really hasn't missed. He missed on Book of Boba Fett. Mando Season 3, but I think that was because the suits got involved. And Tales of the Empire. But everything else that he's done other than that has been great. Has been George Lucas centered. You know, I think Dave Filoni is the best person that will be able to put us back on track. Not have us have to get through another Acolyte. you know, I think Dave Filoni is our only hope at this point. If Dave Filoni is in charge like he is right now, and it continues how bad it's been, it might be time to take the whole universe behind the barn and do what we gotta do. Uh, yeah. I don't know. Um, I think we have to give it another chance. Since Dave Filoni's been in charge, the only two things that's come out has been the Maul show, which was fantastic, and Mandalorian and Grogu, which wasn't great, but nobody can say it wasn't good. You know, it was fun. It was cool. Um, but all right, look, I'm gonna jump off. I appreciate you guys for coming. If you're in the chat, make sure you hit like. Um, I'm gonna try to make it to where it's not another 3 years before I do this again. Maybe after every upload, maybe the same week of every upload, I'll do a stream. You could ask questions about the stream. You could ask questions about just anything. Like I said, for these streams, I want it to be special. So behind the scenes content, different maybe members content that only members get. I want these streams to be special. So I'll think of different things I could do on these streams. But like I said, I'll try to make sure it's not 3 years or 3 months until I do another one, because I really like these. But all right, everybody, I appreciate you. Let's see if I can actually turn these off, because I always have a problem with it. There it is. Okay. Bye.